So at the end of yesterday's episode, we were about to accept a job at Flamengo in Brazil in the Brazilian First Division. We're currently on the verge of relegation with half a season left to save the season from absolute catastrophe. Let's say goodbye to Dortmund and then we can say hello to a new club, Flamengo. So I think it's only right we say a little goodbye to Dortmund. It is only going to be a quick one because I've loved my time here. We've been here for 4 seasons. We've won so many trophies. That one World Club Championship that they've got is what we won them. We've won them their second Champions League. We've won 4 of the 12 Bundesliga titles. The one Europa League they've got is what we've won as well. The one Super Cup they've got is what we've won. We've won 1 of their 7 DFB Pokals, and we've won a couple of German Super Cups as well. We have been prolific with Dortmund. Key people, by the way, Christian Spahu, what a man he is. We are saying goodbye. We're not going to be able to take, I wouldn't have thought, any of these players to Flamengo with us. Philippe Auberlet, the best goalkeeper I've had in this game, closely followed by Antoine Marie at Monaco, but Philippe Auberlet is something else. And yeah, we look at this favoured personnel. I've still got the ump about this, that Dijon Kamiri is favoured personnel, same as me. I mean, I think I've had more of an impact at this club than what Dijon Kamiri has had. What did shock me, though, was when I looked down the list of icons, Erez Levi is an icon at Borussia Dortmund. I mean, to be fair to the lad, he's been here for 4 seasons. He's just entering his 5th season. Very consistent in terms of the amount of games that he plays in the league per season. He hasn't scored as many goals as what he was when he first got, but that's mainly because he's playing out wide on the right-hand side. But last season alone, still managed to get 21 goals and 6 assists from his 44 appearances. Erez Levi, obviously we bought him in for 3 million at Monaco. We then brought him with us to Dortmund for 53 million. I think he was probably the first player we signed. If we have a look at the transfer history and go back to when we first got here, I know Carnevali was the first player we signed. Then it was Erez Levi, then Maxime Esteve. Dijon Kamiri obviously came for us there as well. But yeah, Carnevali and Levi were kind of like the 2 that we first brought over. And then a little bit later on, we went with Esteve because we realised somebody else was going to be leaving. I can't even remember who it was that was going to be leaving back then. It was one of our centre-backs anyway. It weren't Schlotterbeck, it was the other guy that was here. But yeah, we brought Maxime Esteve in because of that. Raided Monaco, gave them quite a bit of money. Over the years, we've done a little bit of business with Monaco because we've sold players to them as well. And just trying to find some of the other business we've done with them. We sold them Gavaro Reed there. We bought Brian Espinoza from them that season. And then last season, I'm sure we sold someone to them, or if we sold someone this season, it might actually be this season that we sold someone. Yeah, Ricard Fontes. There you go. We sold Ricard Fontes. So in terms of business we've done already, because I was still treated as a transfer special, even though I didn't really bring you up to date on it. There's this guy who's got a Porto and a free, but then Ricard Fontes went for 22.5 million, rising to 27.5 million, and Marcelo Finetto came in from SPO out in Brazil. Young Brazilian, he's not much at the moment. He could be something in the future. It was part of my whole thing that if we end up staying at Dortmund, we need to sign players young that we can sell for a profit in a couple of years' time, and he kind of fell into that category. But yeah, we've had a really good time here at Dortmund. If we have a look at my player profile, and we can actually see here what we've won. And altogether, we've won an average of 3 trophies per season. And we've won 4 Bundesligas, 3, I think it is, German Super Cups, Club World Chat. We went for it earlier on, but we've won a lot of stuff. Most notably, we've won the Champions League. And I've also been entered into the Worldwide Hall of Fame, which, if we have a look at it, where is the Hall of Fame? Here it is. I don't usually check this page, and I don't know why, because it's quite interesting, because when I was looking at the names, I realised I saw my name here, and I was like, I'm on here twice. This was when I done my Barcelona rebuild. We entered the Hall of Fame there. We're also in here a couple more times as well. So we're down here for when we was at Arsenal in the Bottoms Up series, and then Man United as another rebuild. But this is for the current one. 3 teams we've had as part of this worldwide Hall of Fame. I think they're underdoing it a little bit. It's mainly because we didn't win anything with Fukushima. But we obviously started with Fukushima. Then we've got Tokyo, where we had one Champions League, two J1 leagues. We basically won them the third, but we left before the end of the season. One Super Cup and two League Cups. Then all of this with Dortmund, and we've also done a League One Uber Eats with Monaco. So yeah, our current manager is currently 16th in the Worldwide Hall of Fame. It'll be quite interesting to see if we can get anywhere near the top by the time the Journeyman ends. But talking of the Journeyman, we are at the stage now where we need to accept the offer from Flamengo and make the next step in our career. So I'm going to start the negotiations. Let's see if we can up it to 30,000. I'm not going to be greedy, but it's a 3-year contract. Suggest terms, and they've accepted it. So there you go. Lovely, lovely stuff. The next time I click continue, we will be going to Flamengo. And here we are, everybody. We are joining Flamengo in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. I've left Borussia Dortmund to join Flamengo. Hills, who of course most famously lifted the UEFA Champions League with Dortmund in June, or BVB, could be considered quite a coup for a club of Flamengo standing, and supporters are excited at the potential of similar successes under their new manager. Hills will face pressure to bring immediate success to Maracanã. I did read that as well, that apparently we play in the Maracanã. That is one of the most famous stadiums in the world. Having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, I never get that bit. And will need to hit the ground running if he is to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Sebastian Acosta was considered to be the favourite for the job, but it's unclear whether the club favoured me all along. I've rejected the offer from Corinthians. Dortmund will now be looking for a new manager. Flamengo have been disappointing in the Brazilian national first division so far this season and find themselves in 13th place. Flamengo have lost 3 of their last 5 games in the league. Flamengo have lost 4 of their last 5 matches. Now, one thing I do want to address before people get in the comments and whatever else about it, I have looked at getting the name fix put in so that they all say the right name. But from all the name fixes I can find, it only takes place on a new save. It doesn't kick in during a save. If you know of anywhere that does do name fixes that kick in straight away, not at the start of a new save, let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to put it into the game. But for the time being, it looks like we're going to be stuck with it. We might only be here half a season. We're already in the Copa Libertadores. So if we win it, we can go again. But I do want to be here for at least 2 or 3 seasons to get the full taste of the Brazilian game. Right, let's click next. Our assistant manager's position is vacant, so we need to get that filled. 78,838 Maracanã, which is different to Google, because Google tells me it's something like 73,000 something. Finances are secure, £50 million transfer budget, £1.3 million wage budget. Excellent training facilities, superb youth facilities, exceptional youth recruitment. I am looking at wanting to use youth. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting Tokyo vibes about Flamengo. And I want to try and use the youth system to bring young players through. We're pretty much in a situation where being a manager at a club in Brazil, you're at risk that your best players are going to end up being poached by European clubs. So I'm kind of looking at bringing players through from the youth team that we can then sell on for a profit. But also, because we've got this massive transfer budget, I'm looking at trying to buy the pick of the best young players from other clubs as well. So that if we can buy them for, say, 2-3 million and then sell them on for 5-6 million, we're more than doubling our investment, the money at the club, the financial status will be rich and all that sort of stuff. So that's all part of the process. Reputation, you can't really see it on the yellow background too well, but we're 4 stars. Media prediction is second. Our director of football is Bruno Spindel. And our fierce rivals are VDG, who I understand is Vasco da Gama. The club's history, they've won a lot of trophies. I don't know what this trophy is here. The Brazilian Copa Rio. No idea. We'll find out all this sort of stuff as we go through the save. Right, they play a 4-3-3. Squad personality is determined. Hot prospect is Jaume Rocha. We'll have to remember that name. Key player is Pedro. Where does Pedro play in here? He's a right winger. Top goal scorer is Gandin. who doesn't appear in here by the looks of it, but okay, fair enough. We'll have a look at all of that when we get in there. But yeah, I think we're going to have a very good squad, and we are underperforming at the moment. Board culture, develop players using the club's youth system, already said we want to do that. Sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, already said we want to do that. Work within the wage budget, grow the club's reputation, sign players to sell for profit, already said we want to do that. Maintain the club's status as the most reputable team in Brazil, maintain the club's status as the most reputable team in South America. Maximum 1 year contracts for players over the age of 33, you ain't got to worry about me doing that. Maximum 2, no, not going to be doing that. Maximum 3 year contracts for players over the age of 29, probably not. Minimum 4 year contracts for first team players. This season, or by the end of this current season, we need to challenge for the Copa Libertadores. I mean, we're already in the knockout stage, I believe, and reach the latter stages of the Brazilian Cup. Okay, fair enough. I think we're still in it. And end of the 2036 season, that's next season, win the first division. Okay, that's fine. Quite happy with that. We've already agreed to that anyway. This is a supporter culture. Wants to play attacking, possession football, high-tempo football, make the most of set pieces. It's like they already know me. Then the supporter expectation is the same for the reputation. Finish above Vasco da Gama. Finish above, I think that's Botafogo, this one. I've tried doing a bit of homework. Finish above Fluminense. Finish above, I don't know who SEP are. Sao Paulo, maybe? I don't know. Qualify for the Copa Sudamericana. Okay, no problems. Schedule a press conference. Yeah, that's okay. They've remembered that. That's cool. And here we are. Hill staff leave Borussia Dortmund. No fewer than 3 staff. I mean, is that it? 3. So Nicolas Mayer, fitness coach. Santiago Perez, a set piece. I mean, he's a good set piece coach as well. I mean, I don't think he's going to want to come here, but he's a good set piece coach. And Alex Brunner, the goalkeeping coach. So them 3. I mean, they say it's a mass exodus. 3 people out of like 30, 40 people. It's not a mass exodus. But anyway, we have been hired as the new manager. Review ongoing negotiations. Oh, okay. I'm bringing your attention to ongoing transfer negotiations to be reviewed. I don't even know when the transfer window is here. So this guy here, 20 years old, Luis Guilherme, Firenze want him. He's a central defender on a free. So, I mean, he's pretty rubbish, to be fair, isn't he? So, I mean, I'm saying he's pretty rubbish. I don't know how he... I mean, this is their squad comparison. So, yeah, go for it. I'm quite happy with that. These ones, it looks like we can't do a great deal about. Jonathan, something like that. I mean, he's not great, is he? 26 years old. His contract runs out at the end of next season. He's surplus to requirements. What is he? He's a defensive midfielder. He's rated as 4th best central midfielder. Probably not going to need him, so we'll let him go. And Jose Maria, 25 years old. Porto won him for 16.5 million. I take it he's pretty decent then. Yeah, he is quite decent actually, isn't he? He likes to be a winger. He can do the inside forward role. I mean, this is part of the problem we got because I would like to keep him. But you always know that European clubs are going to come in for him. He's not homegrown at club, he is homegrown in nation. I mean, we actually bought him for £20 million. I mean, that's kind of making me... Can I not... I think he's matched the minimum fee release clause. That's disappointing, I've got to say. Okay, so there's nothing we can do about the rest of those. Our youth intake, I mean, it says good and the best rating is a B. So that's not a great start. Supporter profile. The supporters' influence on the board is high. Ooh. We have no season ticket holders. I mean, how can we have no season ticket holders? Our fan base is 9% hardcore, 35% core, 17% family, 21% fair weather, 3% corporate, 15% casual. Reached the semi-final of the Copa Libertadores. I mean, okay, might be a bit of a struggle, but if you say so. And qualify for the Copa Libertadores through the league. Hang on a minute. We are currently... Okay, we've moved up, because we were by the relegation zone. We've moved, so we're in 13th on 22 points. We need to be probably top 6. I mean, we're only 6 points away, to be fair. we are at pretty much the halfway stage. There's 38 games in the season, so some of them that have played 19 already, like CTB and Botafogo, they have reached the halfway. We're only on 16 games, so we've still got games in hand over a lot of teams above us. Right, okay. Tactical direction, we will get into that in a minute. Let's have a look at the finances. We've got 6 million in the bank, so we're not negative bank balance just yet. And let's have a look at our schedule. So we did win a game there against CHA. And I don't know who this team is. I don't think that's Botafogo up there. So, okay, so our next game is against VIT, on the 15th of July, so in 2 days' time. Ooh. And then we've got another one 3 days after that, another one. So we're being thrown in at the deep end, basically. So in tomorrow's episode, we'll probably do them 2 games in tomorrow's episode. These are the only transfers that are happening at the moment. I mean, at least with Jose Maria going to Porto, that's another 16.5 million added to our finances. We've currently got spare just £74,000 in the wage budget. If we go to our squad, have a look at the wages. I mean, £74,000 would fit us in around here, so that's not too bad. If we have a look at the ability of our first team, so we've got Jonathan Herrero. We can't include Jose Maria because he's not going to be here, but Jonathan Herrero is a midfield centre, attacking midfield left and right. If we drop him back here, he could do the advanced playmaker role for us there. He can also do inside forward on the right and the left. So he's a very useful player to have around, to be fair. He's got a lot going for him. Very creative. There's a lot of yellows in there. He's reasonable with his left foot, very strong with his right foot. He could do the advanced playmaker or the Mazzala, whatever we wanted to put him in that central role. Then we've got Pedro, who's 29 years old, so he's not long for this world, let's be fair. He prefers to play on the right-hand side. He can do the inside forward. That would be support. So, yeah, let's select that. He looks pretty decent for that role, to be fair. He's fairly strong on both feet. He can play on the left-hand side if we need to. Very similar ability. So we've kind of got the advanced playmaker and one of our inside forwards there. Then we've got George Colombo, who's a centre-back, 6'2", jumping reach of 17, but rubbish heading. Out on the right, he can do it, but he's not got great crossing or anything. So we're probably looking at him being a centre-back for us. Strong left foot, very strong right foot. We've then got this guy here, Lorenzo Albarracin. Yep. I mean, he can play on the left-hand side as an inside forward. He's pretty reasonable for that. He's got very strong left foot, weak right foot. We might actually have to put him as a winger, because otherwise, if he's cutting inside, he's going to be cutting in onto his right foot, and he's weak on his right foot. So we might have to use a winger out here and an inside forward out here. It's a slight change to what I'd normally do, but yeah. Then we've got Jefferson, who's 20 years old, 3-star current ability, 4-star potential. Again, he can play on the left as well. I'm quite tempted to put him out on the left. He could do a job up front as an advanced forward. So Jefferson or Albarracin for the left-hand side. They're kind of both only playing the same positions as well. Then we've got Ramiro Mariani as a left-back. I mean, he looks like he could be a left-back on attack, to be quite honest, wing-back. Let's put him on there. He's only 2.5-star for it, but he can cross the ball. He's got decent pace and acceleration. So that's probably going to be our left-back, is Mariani. I haven't really seen who's going to be our right-back. We've got this guy here, Gilmar Custodio. He does like to be, I mean, he's rubbish at crossing, so he certainly can't be our attacking one. So he would be a wing-back on support. So we've got 2.5-star wing-backs. I mean, he's good on both feet. Right, let me go and have a look at the tactic. I'm going to go in there, have a little play around with a couple of tactics, and I'll get back to you when I've decided what my starting tactic's going to be. Right, here we go with our tactics. So we're going with a 4-3-3 custom gegenpress. We basically selected the gegenpress tactic and then just kind of put in the roles that we want. So we've got a wing back on attack on this side with the inside forward on support. Then we've got the wing back on support with the inside forward on attack there. So it's just switched it over basically. Anchor Mazzala, advanced playmaker. We have gone for central defenders here because we don't really have anyone that's any good at playing a ball playing defender. So rather than playing them in positions, especially as a ball playing defender, I don't want to making some silly pass that gives possession away, and I'd rather just wait until we can buy players that can fit that position. We have gone into the dev centre, into the under 19s or the under 20s and the reserves. We've brought through some players that look pretty decent. This guy here, for example, he's still in the under 20s. He can play both left and right, and he does look like he's got a lot of potential, like 4.5-star potential. He's currently worth 4 to 5 million. I want to give him some game time at some point, but obviously at the moment it's about trying to work out what our best team is. But yeah, there are some people we've brought through. There's some people that we've left in there. We've got strong reserves, strong under 20s. We have had a preview, I think it is. I think I showed you earlier on of the youth intake, and it doesn't look anything much, but yeah, it is what it is. So that's the tactic we got. We've also training a 4-2-3-1 vertical tiki-taka thing that I'm not sure we're ever going to use it, but it's there being trained should we need to. Set pieces, we haven't done set pieces yet, so I need to get set pieces sorted out. So we do hybrid for that. We do, players marking whilst defending. We do near post. We do balanced. We do near post. We do balanced, and we do in swingers. There you go. They're going to generate our set pieces based on their preferences. What I'll then do is, if we change, so that's on corners, we change that to attack. So we've already got our first routine in place. So we'll create our first one's going to be near post in swinger. So we'll do a far post in swinger, and we'll set that as less often, this one as more often. And then we'll come back in here again, do a centre in swing, set that as less often as well. So we want most of them to be the near post. There you go. That is literally all I do for my set pieces. The set piece coach and all that does the rest of it. Talking of coaches, we need an assistant manager because we haven't got one. So I have gone out, found one, offered him a contract. Hopefully he accepts it. We've put out offers for a technical director, a few scouts, a few coaches as well. So they will work away in the background. We'll fill that up. This is how it looks like at the moment. I'm sure we're going to be the best in class once we've got everyone in place. In terms of anything else we need to look at, we've gone into scout. We have set up a couple of recruitment focuses. So we've set up one to scout all of Brazil, and we've set one up to scout the under 20s Libertadores, as we obviously want to bring in some decent under 20 players. And we've got a couple of things that have come through here, but we'll let that work away. When we have a look at the competitions page, now the Brazilian Cup we're already out of. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals. The Brazilian Rio de Janeiro State Championship, we played bot in the final of that. We drew 2-2 after the 2 legs, but they won it because they're the higher seed than us. Okay, fine. And then obviously you've got the Brazilian National First Division. If we have a look at the rules for this, by the way, because I wanted to see about if there's a limit on foreign players and all this sort of stuff. There doesn't appear to be. It does say in terms of transfer window and squad registration, max squad size of 50 players. So I've had to go in there, unregister a couple and register a couple just so we've got the players in that we want. Minimum squad size of 25 players. Players can be registered between Thursday the 11th of January and Wednesday the 7th of March, which is obviously already gone. And players can be registered between Tuesday the 10th of July and Sunday the 2nd of September. Maximum of 8 squad selection changes. So we have got a window open now to register players. And I'm assuming that also means that there's a transfer window open at the moment. That if we go back, are we able to go back any days on here to the 10th? Yeah, there you go, transfer window open. So the transfer window is open. Contract renewals, under 24 players must be offered similar terms before the first Saturday in May or 7 days after the last match in the set. I don't really understand what all that means. I think it's just about if they end up being poached by another club. Transfer rules, players will get a mandatory minimum fee release clause for transfer offers from domestic clubs. So that's interesting. So looking at that, there's mandatory minimum fee release clauses in all of the contracts. Yes, there is. So that guy there, for example, he can go to a foreign club for 21 million and minimum fee release clause for domestic clubs is 500 million. So basically, this is what they do in Spain. That in Spain you have minimum fee release clauses for foreign and domestic clubs, and if you click on a player at Barcelona, for example, you'll find some under 18 that you've never heard of that's got a minimum fee release clause of £750 million or something like that. They can be quite stupid, but they are there for a reason. And yeah, I think that's probably about all there is we need to show you. I think what we're going to do is when we look at the schedule, where is it? The schedule. We've got obviously the game against Vit coming up. I will find out what their actual name is before we get into the game, because I am going to play that game on camera today. And then I think what we'll do is we'll come back in the next episode. We've got bots in the league twice. So I think what we'll do is rather than showing this game, we'll show the home game against them and then the second leg of the Copa Libertadores second round. So it'll give me a chance to play Bot, 4 and Talares off camera. Talares, by the way, are an Argentinian team. They're 20th in the Argentinian Premier Division. So they are all the way down here. They're having about as rubbish a season as what we are by the looks of it. So I think we stand a chance against Talares. I really do. I mean, their estimated value is £200 million. They've got some... I mean, that might be a club when we eventually end up going to Argentina, if we do now, then that might be a club worth going to be quite honest. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll skip forward to the first game. It's only a couple of days in game, and we'll get into the first game of our time with Flamengo. Okay, so if I've got it right, we're playing Vitoria today, and they are one place above us in the league. We're level on points, level on goal difference. We've actually played a game less than them. A win for us today would take us on 25 points. Wouldn't be enough to take us up to 8th, but we could definitely overtake one of our local rivals, Botafogo, in 9th. So it's pretty important, I would say, that we win this game today. So let's get into it. I mean, this is a bit empty compared to usual. We'll do the normal opposition instructions. We have got our first choice goalkeeper, by the way, Luis Jr., who is a much better goalkeeper. Well, I say much better. He's like 3 stars compared to the 2 stars we've got at the moment. So we are without our main number 1 goalkeeper, and he's out for about 5 weeks, I think it is. 3 weeks. There he goes, out for another 3 weeks. Daniel, who is their first choice left back, has only just come back from an injury. He's not quite up to full condition, and he's only able to do 45 minutes. So we've left him on the bench for now. This is a team that we're going with, and it's going to take me a while to get used to the names, but we'll get there eventually. And there's no massively difficult ones to pronounce. We have also, by the way, got Cristiano Ronaldo. I was quite surprised by that, especially the fact that he's suitable to playing a centre-back or an anchor. Not really used to Cristiano Ronaldo playing that. Just want to have a look at the information a minute. And no, he's not the Cristiano Ronaldo's love child or anything like that. I mean, bear in mind, he is Brazilian. The other one's obviously Portuguese. I am aware of that. So we go with Vitor in goal, Mariani and Custiodo in the wing-back positions, Nathan and Colombo in central defence, Cristiano Ronaldo, Danilo and Herrero in the midfield, Albarracin and Pedro out wide with Gandin up top. Gandin is our top scorer and Herrero is our top assist maker with, I think it's 17 assists for the season. We have got a few players that are a yellow card away from suspension. Colombo being one, Mariani being another, Ronaldo and Danilo another. Alex Guerrera is also on the subs bench. He could be suspended in our next game as well. Let's get on to it, or into it. And we need to give squad numbers to a few of our players. So number 12 has been dedicated to the fans. Pedro's number 13. I don't really like having 13 giving out 21. So when the new season comes around, we will be changing that. Right, submit the numbers. Let's get into the game and let's see how good or bad we actually are. And this is the new pre-match screen. That's obviously your ticket if you get into the stadium. And yeah, we're 13th, they're 12th. We need to be in that top 7. If we want to get Copa Libertadores action next season, we really need to be in the top 6 because 7th is relying on other competitions. Same with the Sudamericana, that 12 will, up to 12th will definitely get you in there, I think. And 13th is dependent on other teams, what they do in cup competitions and all this sort of stuff. Right, I've not got an assistant, so I need to pick my own thing here. This is going to be agony until I get my assistant. I want to be impressed today. Go out and put on a show. I mean, Danilo's motivated. A couple of their subs I could do with... Wow, okay. This is the first time I played a match on this screen. So this is the screen as you first load it up. Wait, that looks quite different, doesn't it? I quite like that. And then let's get into the actual game itself. Right, this is our new screen. Just want to make sure we've got everything where we want it. So I don't really need the dugout. I think I'd rather have the league table in there. So we've got action zones in here. We've got match stats here. Can we change? I mean, we leave those as they are for the time. We don't need the flamingo formation twice. So we can probably change. We'll put the dugout in there. Why not? Then we've got the average positions horizontally, match momentum, the 2 formations here. I like this screen. I must admit, I do like this screen. It's nice and big. It's nice. This could do with being a bit more central because you can't really see what it says, but you can see it up there. Nice amount of stats there for the game. Then you've got all your usuals down here as well. So yeah, let's get the game started. I need to actually check if I've got this all set up the way it should be. Yeah, it does look like it is to me. Wonderful stuff. Right, we have a highlight. So we have the one on the right-hand side. They've intercepted, but Cristiano Ronaldo wins it back. I think I'm just going to be calling him Ronaldo. Oh, that was a stray pass, and Silvio Luis has it on the right-hand side for Vitoria, but Mariani wins it back, and we can now bring the ball away. I've seen a couple of flares. There you go. There's a flare up there being let off. I'm getting very distracted by what's going on around me. Here's Herrero. Gives it to Pedro on the right-hand side. Custodio, Herrero, Danilo, Albarracin, we scored. Lorenzo Albarracin with his 5th goal of the season. Danilo gets an assist and we are off the mark in the 3rd minute of the game. And I need to pause it a minute because this I'm not too keen on. So I think what we might do here, notable events, that might be the one we end up going for. I mean, that's a better version of that, to be quite honest. I think that's how we'll do it. Because then we've got a bit more of a better way of looking at it that way. So yeah, 1-0 with a goal in the 3rd minute. I will take that. They have a corner. Oof. Vitor makes the save. Clutches it, keeps hold of it. Rolls it out to Clutch. What I'm wanting to see in time is us playing the way we did with Dortmund. And it might take some time for that to happen. Because obviously Dortmund, we become a well-oiled machine playing like that. Whereas this is the first match we've got in charge of Flamengo. But here's Pedro. He looks a very decent player. Danilo to Albarracin, the goal scorer. He's into the penalty box. Pulls it back for Mariani. He's pinging around a bit. Pedro, and the shot's gone wide. It's gone out for a corner. It's going to be Pedro that takes the corner. He's certainly involved in a lot. There's another flare up there as well. Ball into the box. It's pinging around, but it's gone out. It's another corner, so we do earn ourselves another corner kick. Pedro will take it again on this left-hand side. There's a lot of highlights in this game. And we are on key highlights, not extended highlights or anything. Albarracin chases down the loose ball. Gives it to Nathan, to Herrero. Our advanced playmaker, Herrero with the goal. His 11th of the season. Nathan, our centre-back, with the assist. And it is 2-0. I mean, we've got off to a very good start, I have to admit. I don't know if this is because of how good we are, new manager bounce, or just whether Vitoria are just really that poor. I mean, bear in mind, they are in the bottom half of the table, as are we, in fact. But look at the stats. We've got 68% possession, or 67 now. And we are looking very good for a 2-0 lead. Here's Herrero now in the midfield. if him and Pedro can combine, they could be very dangerous, them two. Ronaldo gets the challenge in, but nobody else was around to get the ball. They're now in the box, and it's 2-1. We've conceded a goal. Okay, I'm not sure VAR is in effect in Brazil. If it's not, I'm going to love it. But we've had 3 goals and no use of VAR yet. So that is very, very nice. Couple of yellow... I mean, that's a name. Matusino. Probably said that completely wrong. And that is half-time. This is a new half-time screen. And I quite like it, I must admit. We've got analytical data we can bring up if we want it. I mean, I don't just yet. Right, 2-1. We're not going to make any changes. Let's get into the dressing room. And I think we're doing well, but we can definitely find another gear to take charge of this match. That seems like a good thing to say to me. And we're into the second half. So yeah, nearly 70% possession. We have dominated in that respect. We could just do with not letting Vitória get anything back in this game. They do have another corner. We've partially cleared it, but they pick it back up with Rafael to the Silvio Luis. That Silvio Luis looks a bit of a danger, doesn't he? Quite a creative player for them. We play it out very nicely from the back. Here's Albarracin now on the left-hand side. Goes back to Cristiano Ronaldo, who's come in field, gives it to Danilo, to Gandin, out to Albarracin, back to Mariani, ball into the box, and Herrero was there towards the back post with a header, but couldn't quite put the ball in the back of the net. It remains 2-1, and I think we need to look at making a sub now. So Custodio is looking rather tired out there, so we can take him off for Alex Guerrera. Doesn't seem to be much of a drop off in that. And then I think we might take Gandin off because he's not played particularly well. We do have Jaume Rocha on the bench, who is, I mean, that doesn't look particularly good. But if we go into his actual profile, he is a 5-star potential player. So we do want to give him some game time. He's only 17 years old. And I have said we're going to stick with, or we're going to give youngsters an opportunity. Pedro with the ball in, Mariani pulls it back, and it's a goal from Jonathan Herrero. His second goal of the game. It's 3-1 to Flamengo against Vitória here in the Brazilian National First Division. Yes, we'll make them changes, especially now with 2 goals to the good. And yeah, I am enjoying this performance. I mean, you look at, I'll just pause the game a minute because we've got a heat map here in the average positions. I love watching the average positions of the team. I think I'm going to enjoy this little chart we've got here. We'll go forward another couple of minutes before we make a next substitution. Here we go. And I think what we can do now is Pedro can come off. I don't really know who I'm bringing on, I'll be quite honest. But Vinny, by the way, Flamengo are the club that, if Google is right in what it's told me, Vinicius Junior came from Flamengo. He's got 5-star potential, so we can play him there. And I think in the midfield, we'll take Cristiano Ronaldo off and Heze will come on in his place. I mean, if we end up winning this game, it has been a very good start. The match momentum shows that we have been the dominant team. Still 68% possession, 1.58 XG. We have a throw-in now. Guerrera has it, gives it back to Vitória. They just boot the ball away. Heze picks the ball up in that anchor roll in the midfield. Colombo now gives it to Herrero. Heze, Danilo. We're playing it about quite nicely. I like this passing. Here's Mariani to Albarracin. Oh, he tried to find Mariani but overhit it. They just boot the ball away again. Here's Herrero on a hat-trick. Oh, Jonathan Herrero almost getting his hat-trick. We'll make our one final substitution. They will have to get used to me making these type of changes. Nathan can come off and Andre Luis can come on. What's he like with his left foot? Strong. That's good. So he can come on. We'll press continue. And it looks like we're getting off to a winning start in life in Brazil. And in the next episode, that intro screen as well will be reflective of our new dressing room. And we have one more highlight, maybe. Here's Heze with the ball in midfield. Guerrera gives it to Vinny. Vinny tried bursting through but couldn't quite pull it off. That was a Turns out to be a decent clearance in the end. They're now on the counter-attack. They could be in search of a goal back themselves. And they're through Silvio Luis, but a good save from Vito, our backup goalkeeper. It's gone out for a corner. Marcos is going to take it from the right-hand side for Vitoria. Outswinger into the box. We don't fully clear our lines and they just blaze it over the bar. 5 minutes of time to be added on at the end of this game. And that is all she wrote. 3-1 win away from home against Vitoria. Very good performance from the boys. We look at some of the stats here. I mean, we had 12 shots on goal. They actually had more shots on target than us. We had a better XG. A lot of shots off target. I mean, that sounded like Dortmund, isn't it? 67% possession, only one clear-cut chance. And yeah, let's have a look at the kilometres run. We didn't run as many kilometres up. I want a team that runs a lot. I want a hard-working team. But you look at the average rating there, 7.24 to 6.56. We were the better team. Let's go to the dressing room. Nice work, everyone. That was good. Let's make them all happy. And we have got a lot of games coming. So I just skipped past where we are in the table. We'll get to that in a minute. Herrero can have his well done. Luis Guilherme has agreed a deal to leave. Yeah, that's fine. We knew that was happening. Off he goes. If we have a look at the table, then we move up to 9th in the table. I mean, bear in mind, when we applied for this job, we was by the relegation zone. Things are looking pretty decent already. There are teams above us and below us that have games in hand over us, but we also have games in hand over some of them as well. And yeah, we've got a very busy schedule with games every other day. So what I'm going to do before I do anything else and end the episode, we're just going to rest that first 11 for the 2 days between games because I'm a lovely, lovely person like that. And I will see you tomorrow for the next episode, which will be the second leg of the Copa Libertadores second round against Talleres and also Botafogo in the league. Hope you have enjoyed the episode. Hope you like our new surroundings. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.